Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited to have you here and joining me to talk about fitness, motherhood, and so much more. Today we're going to talk about something that can completely change the way that you look at food, which is called macros. If you've ever wondered, what are macros? Why do they matter? How do I track them? Then you're in the right place. I'm going to break it down for you in the simplest way possible. Let's get started. So what in the world are macros? Macros, also known as your macronutrients, are the three main nutrients that make up your diet. You have protein, carbs, and fats. When you think of protein, think about the building blocks that make up your muscle, your hair, skin, nails. Some examples are going to be ground beef, chicken, eggs, Greek yogurt, etc. Carbohydrates are your main energy source. They're going to fuel you for your workouts, and they're going to help fuel you for that mom life, because who doesn't need more energy to chase after those kids? If you have a toddler or a 6-year-old, you know what I mean. Your fats are going to be essential for healthy hormones, brain health, and they're also going to help you feel satisfied. Some examples of healthy fats include avocados, olive oil, and nuts. So why do macros even matter? Why do we have to worry about macros instead of just following a diet based on calories? Let me tell you what the biggest difference is. The right balance of macros is going to actually shape your results. If you are just following calories, then you're going to lose weight. But if you want to change the body composition and have more control of how much muscle your body is keeping, how much fat you're losing, and how you feel mentally, then we're gonna have to focus more on each individual macronutrient. Let's say you just wanna focus on having more energy and better digestion. Balancing your macros is going to help you have less energy crashes. It's going to help you stop feeling bloated, and it's also going to decrease your cravings. Balancing your macros is also going to help stabilize your blood sugar levels. Okay, so now how do you actually track macros to reach your personal fitness goals? Number one is you're going to need to know first, what is your goal? Are you trying to lose fat, build muscle, or maintain where you currently are? Then this is the most important thing that you need to focus on, and it's the most important thing that you need to be clear on, because you can't go from wanting to lose fat 1 month to wanting to gain muscle the next month to wanting to maintain the third. It's not going to work. You're going to be stuck in this hamster wheel of trying to figure out what works for you. The minimum that I recommend you stay in a program is 3 months minimum. And that's still a very short amount of time, but you need to just be clear on what that goal is and be in that goal for a minimum of 3 months to see any type of progress. It's usually gonna take a lot longer than 3 months for you to see the results that you actually want. So this is why it's so important to be clear on this goal and stick to it. I personally would say 1 year, because when I first started my journey, I stuck to my goal for a year, and I didn't really start seeing results probably until 6 months in. So don't get discouraged if you don't see results 1 month in, 3 weeks in. That's unrealistic. So just make sure that you have a realistic goal of what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Number 2, use a tracker app. This is the best way to know where you are daily with your nutrition. Track it, everything. Scan labels. A good app for you to use is MyFitnessPal. I personally use my own app, which I have all my clients using. It's easy. You can scan food if it has like a barcode. You can put in any portion amount of protein. If you look something up from a restaurant, it's usually in there. If it's not, you can add it in yourself. So just track everything so that you know exactly where you're at, and it's going to teach you how far away you are from hitting your daily macronutrient goals for the day. This is an example of how mine works right here. This is me tracking my breakfast, and you can see how everything is put into the app, every single portion size, and it'll give you my total macros for that meal. And then it's also going to, if you go into this area here, it's going to teach you like this is how many calories you've eaten for the day, this is how much protein you've had, this is how many carbs you've had, this is how much fat you've had, and this is how much you have remaining so that you can hit your daily macronutrient goals for the day. The third thing is that you're going to have to prioritize your protein. So I usually recommend 0.8 grams to 1 gram per pound of body weight, depending on your goals. Again, if you're going to want to do a fat loss, then you're going to have to increase your protein intake. If you want to build muscle, you're probably gonna hang around 1 gram per pound of body weight. The fourth thing is balancing your plate. So you're going to have a good balance of protein, carbs, and fats in every meal. The way that I like to balance my plate is usually my protein looks more like half the plate, and then my veggies look like a fourth, and another fourth for my carbs. You have to find what works for you, but usually if you can stick to a balanced plate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and prioritize protein in your snacks in between, then you're on a good track. The last thing is going to be to listen to your body. Tracking is not forever, you guys. Think about it as a temporary tool to learn what is in your food, how much of it are you eating, and how you can manipulate it to reach certain goals. You don't have to track forever. Woo! Once you reach a certain place where you are comfortable, let's say your beginning goal was to build muscle, you feel like you're at a good place that you built muscle, well, now we're gonna have to shift your macros so that you can lose some body fat. So it's going to change. And then again, let's say now you want to maintain, then you're going to shift your macros into maintenance. And then once you learn how to do all of this, once you learn and you can eyeball, like this is how much protein is 4 ounces, or this is how much veggies I should eat, then you don't necessarily have to continue tracking your food in an app. You can just use it to teach you how, and then you can transition from tracking to intuitive eating so that now you don't have to focus so much on the macros and every single meal that has to go into this app. Just think about it as a learning tool. Do it for a while so that you actually learn how to fuel your body correctly for your goals, and so that you don't go back to eating the way that you used to eat. Like, this is a new way of eating. Use the macros to teach you. It's a tool. And then let's say, for example, you're going on a vacation and you want to maybe lose a little bit of body fat. Well, now you have this amazing tool that can teach you how to hit the accurate numbers, because sometimes when we do eat intuitively, that's more like staying in that maintenance. But if you want to now change your body, lose some body fat, then now you can bring out your tool of macro counting, measuring, and now you use it to your advantage for the next 3 months. And I'm bringing this point up specifically for my moms because I know how busy we are, and to even think like, oh, I have to track every single meal, it just sounds overwhelming, unrealistic, something that maybe we can't keep up with. But I'll teach you one little hack that I do when I'm counting macros is I will input everything the night before so that the next morning I don't even have to think about what I'm eating or input it into my macros or guess, like, am I gonna hit my macros at the end of the day? Like, I already know what I'm eating and I already know it's going to hit my macros perfectly, and you just follow that for that day. And the good thing about tracking your macros for the week, you can plan your meals a full week ahead if you're that organized and that like into knowing what is gonna happen for the whole week. If you're a planner, you can plan your macros ahead of time. My favorite thing about macros is that it's not a restricted way of eating. It's very flexible. You can be as flexible as you'd like. The one rule that I like to stick with is 80% whole foods, clean foods, and 20% treats. So if you want that cookie, put it in your macros and then plan your macros around that cookie to make sure that you're not falling off your calories or your macros for that day. You're still enjoying the foods that you like, but you're still also staying on track to reach those fitness goals. Like I said, macros are not about restriction. They're about fueling your body in a way that works for you, whether you track or just focus on eating balanced meals. Understanding macros will help you feel your best. Remember, tracking macros is not about restriction, it's about fueling your body and what works for you as an individual, as a mom, as a working mom, a stay-at-home mom, as someone who is a professional who is always on the go. Like, it doesn't matter what your lifestyle looks like, macros works for you in that specific lifestyle. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you prefer to track macros or eat intuitively. I'll see you in the next video.